Hi, hello. Welcome to another session on my Algebra for Beginners. Now, in the last episode, we discussed all about quadratic equations. Now, in order for us to solve quadratic equations, we can use the techniques of completing the square and the normal factoring method. Now, in this session, I would like to introduce to you the concept of the quadratic formula. Hey, let's try to use a formula that would work for all quadratic equations. Now, according to ChatGPT, this is the form of the quadratic formula. We have x equals negative b, we have a plus and a minus, square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Now, let's try to use my note in order for us to have a clear picture of what we are talking about. Now, the first thing is, let's try to write first the quadratic equation. Now, all we need to do now is write the quadratic equation. It looks like this: ax squared plus bx plus c, as I have shown you in my previous videos. Now, this a, b, and c are constants. Now, in order for us to extract the root of a quadratic equation, normally we have 2. So our x will be 2 values. So the first one will come from the plus, which is plus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And the other one is negative square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So here we have a, b, and c as the constants we could extract from the original quadratic equation, which is ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, all we need to do now is, let's have an example in order to demonstrate the effectiveness of this formula in extracting the roots of a quadratic equation. Now here, we have an example: 2x squared plus 3x minus 2. So probably I will just write that first: 2x squared plus 3x minus 2 equals 0. Now, let's try to use the quadratic equation in order to solve for the root. Now, we identify 2 here as the a, and 3 here as the b, and the negative 2 here as c. And all we need to do now is to consult our quadratic formula and use that. So in the first root, so we have x minus b, so we write it in compact form, so we have plus and minus square root of b squared minus 4ac. By the way, this term in the inside the square root is called the discriminant. So the discriminant here, it just happens that it should be positive for us to get a real root, simply because we cannot have a real number if the root here is negative. That will result to an imaginary number. Now here we have over 2a. Now let's try to plug in the values. Our b is 3, so negative 3, plus minus the square root of b squared. Now again, b is 3 square, okay, minus 4 multiplied by, what's our a? Our a is 2, and our c is negative 2, okay, and we divide by 2 multiplied by a. What's a? 2. And then let's try to scroll down to have more space. So we perform the calculations now. X is equivalent to minus 3 plus minus, that's the square root of 3 squared is 9, minus 8 times negative 2 over 4. Now this one is negative 16. So we multiplied by negative, that becomes positive. So we have 9 plus 16. Again, negative times negative is positive, and 8 times 2 is 16. So we have 9 plus 16 over 4. So that's our x. let's try to scroll down further. So let's try to simplify this. X equals negative 3 plus minus the square root of 9 plus 16 is 25 over 4. Now this is quite simple. It's just the square root of 25, which is 5, and we have over 4. Now the two roots are, I think, quite obvious. So we have the first one as negative 3 plus 5 over 4, and the other one is negative 3 minus 5 over 4. This gives us negative 3 plus 5 is 2 over 4, or 1 half. And the other one is minus 3 minus 5, that's negative 8 over 4, which gives us minus 2. Hence, the two roots to our equation is x equals 0.5, that's 1 half, and the other one is negative 2. So let's try to check if that is correct. And okay, so according to ChatGPT, that's correct. So the first one is 0.5, that's the first root, and the other one is negative 2. So perhaps let's try to check it further, so as we could practice also our algebra. So let's try to have a check. So let's have a check. So I'll try to provide a check this time. So let's try to check. Again, the equation is, let's try to copy, that's 2x squared plus 3x, 2x squared plus 3x minus 2 equals 0. So did we copy that correctly? 2x squared plus 3x minus 2 equals 0. That's correct. So let's try to check the first root. So 4x equals 1 half. So 2 multiplied by, let's plug the value, 1 half squared plus 3 multiplied by 1 half minus 2 equals 0. Now this becomes 1 half squared, that's 1/4. Multiply that by 2 plus, this becomes 3 halves minus 2 equals 0. Now this is essentially 2 over 4, or that is 1 half, plus 3 halves minus 2 equals 0. 1 half plus 3 halves, so the common denominator is 2. 1 plus 3 is 4, minus 2 equals 0. Therefore, this one, 4 over 2 is just 2. 2 minus 2 equals 0. And we have proven that that is correct. So the first root is essentially 1 half. Now for the second root, so 4x equals negative 2. Let's try to plug in the value again. 2 negative 2 squared plus 3 multiplied by negative 2 minus 2 equals 0. Now negative 2 squared is just 4 multiplied by 2 plus 3 multiplied by negative 2 is negative 6 minus 2 equals 0. 2 times 4 is 8, minus 6 minus 2 equals 0. This becomes 8, and negative 6 minus 2 is negative 8. And we have proven that it is also true, 0 equals 0. So the real roots for the answer is indeed 1 half and negative 2. Now in the next videos, I will try to show you more exercises on quadratic equation. But for now, that's all, and thank you.